Meanwhile, our parents on their knees while we walk through the night. Our siblings crying on their sheets while we walk through the night. Could be our families missing peace while we walk through the night. And they.
What's good, YouTube? We back with another episode of the TrakWolf Godcast. I'm your boy TrakBeatz. We got my man Cheno Bliss in the building with us today. We also got Savage off to the side with us.
Shit.
Y'all know how we doing. Y'all make sure y'all motherfucking hit that like button and that subscribe button for us. You know what I'm saying? We out here putting a lot of good content together for y'all. You know what I'm saying? We much appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? The love and respect. You know what I'm saying? But as we keep this thing rolling, you know what I'm saying, we got a special guest in the building with us, Miss Yas.
Hey, how are you?
What's good? What's good? So, let the people know, you know, one of the most interesting things about you that, you know, kind of is the spark of your character.
Okay. Well, my name is Yas Washington. I'm 23. I'm from Charlottesville, Virginia. I have my company, Rocket Science. It's a grassroots organization working to unify the community through a common ground, which is art. Also, too, you know, making it interesting for people to see the topics of public interest, but also making it so that it's jazzed up and reeling people in.
Oh, it's jazzed up.
Yeah, it's jazzed up.
How long? What was you? I know you felt like. Where was you at when you said that? You was like, oh, that's it. That's it. It's jazzed up right there. You
That's
spirit
catchy.
fingers with that. I like it.
Catchy, creative.
So here we go.
Yeah, so so what got you started into the organization, you know what I'm saying? Because some people got to build up, you know, life experiences to make them want to give back to the community, and some people just naturally want to give to the community.
Okay, well, you know, there's a lot of creative individuals or like very talented individuals in Charlottesville as a whole. And I found that like a common, I guess, problem or conflict was that it was difficult getting people to work together. Yeah. And I was like, you know, I really want to create a network where like everybody's like working together, using their platforms to boost one another and stuff like that. So we do.
Yeah. Hey, great minds come together. Yes. Oh my God, it's crazy, right? That was the whole concept.
I know. I was rapping with her. I was like, oh my goodness.
As we introduced it, we didn't even get into the promo, you know what I'm saying? We got Foreign Empire, you know what I'm saying? Showing some love, you know what I'm saying? Old skills, you know what I'm saying? We also got Be Great, you know what I'm saying? We supporting, man. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to unify the people. We can bring everything together more, you know what I'm saying?
And now Rocket Science is in my vision. So like Rocket Science, how did you come up with the name, the concept?
Literally, like, you know, sometimes getting people in one room and working together in a functional manner is rocket science. So I was like, yo, no brainer, this is rocket science to a T.
Damn, man, you blew him on. Yeah, it is.
It's crazy how we always say the simplest things are the catchiest.
Yeah.
Fucking rocket science.
It is.
So do you believe in rockets?
Oh my God.
I mean, you use the terminology.
Like I was like, I might get flagged by NASA, no big deal.
So like, rocket science, like, what is it? If you were explaining it to somebody, how would you pitch it to them? Like, what is it to you?
Well, like, all in all, like art, using art as like a common ground to one, not only bring people together, but also to help promote or market people's ideas, concepts, or like movements in a very interesting way, where it's like, okay, this is catchy, but also to throw in entertainment in there, you know, because that's something where you're like, whoa, wait, I wasn't even paying attention to this topic, and now I'm like, no.
That's a good way to grab people.
They about to say it's a way to get people engaged into it.
Definitely.
Hell yeah. You're giving them some real knowledge with some entertainment that they could also kind of correlate to, you know what I'm saying?
How did you come up with that concept? What did you see? Like, what did you experience?
Well, like, basically I had reached out. I was trying to like write an article. It started off as a blog. And I was like, you know, I want to elaborate on all things like taboo and risque with elegance and sophistication. So giving people like, boom, like here it is, and then talking about like taboo topics, but in a very like well-dressed manner where it's not offensive, but people are really hearing what you have to say.
What's an example of that? Like, because some people hear big words and get scared.
Agree.
They heard taboo. They were like, what? Taboo? Wait,
she getting nasty.
I thought of voodoo. It's an old story.
Like literally how we were just sitting, you know, before talking about things as simple as well, seem simple as religion or like spirituality or like love or, you know, like race. You know, there's a lot of different things where like people may not hear you, but then if you give it to them in a way where it's like, ooh, they're like, okay, dope.
Yes.
Yeah. And then aside from that, I had reached out to like Jamar, DJ.We, and then Books. And I was like, okay, you know, just like tell me about like, you know, how you feel about, you know, art, entertainment, or like what were they working on, you know, and all of that. And then I realized that everybody had really different answers and responses to everything. Yeah. And I was like, yo, there's a disconnect as a whole where if like, you know, bringing people together is already difficult, but then like I'm like art and all in all, it's like unifying people from different backgrounds. So it's supposed to be a melting pot, and like Charlottesville, the entertainment game, art game, crazy.
Yeah, I mean we're all a part of that game here, that industry, and it is rocket science getting everybody on the same terms in the same room. Everybody's from different circles to even acknowledge that they're aware of other artists and other people doing work. So like, what are some things that when you got these perspectives, like what are some things that you thought that you can do to bridge these perspectives or like help out?
Okay. Well, I guess one, like community is a really big one. So like making sure that rocket science is promoting like connectivity within the community is really important. Basically being able to like come together and like be around people from different walks of life and like understanding one another, or even if at the very least you know that you're very different from that person, it's like the one thing that you can agree on is usually a topic of public interest, or it could be art. So when you fuse the two together, it's like pretty interesting for people to grab onto.
Right. So when you discuss art, what kind of art? Because art is pretty broad, so you know, like, do you mean like paintings or something a little bit more specific?
Well, art of like different branches. So then like, or like, you know, where we have like dance, you know, literature, art within itself, music, of course, you know, a couple of different things all in all. But like when you bring things together in an entertaining way, it's like, okay, cool. And then, you know, usually really meaningful art usually has like an underlying message in it, or it should at the very least.
Yeah,
I love art. Art is like hand in hand with being a creator.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying?
So like this is like an established organization, like the paperwork and all of that stuff, right?
Yeah, paperwork and all that is good to go. The biggest thing is just like finding like you know, like we were talking about, a team that you can rely on, a team that you can count on, making sure that people are showing up, and then also too you know, just making sure that everything's good to go, and that people are interested, and like, you know, being an opportunist is important, you know. Making sure that you're growing yourself and your brand as well, but it's also important that you get the overall message and the overall mission, and that you're on board with helping that flourish as well.
Do you have your team like together yet?
Like, I'm working on it.
Working as in having one person, two
you
people,
know, like,
3 people,
you
no
know,
people?
I'm working on it. You know, I got people that I lean on, but I don't have anything like completely set in stone. So it's like locking everything in, making sure that everything's good to go. That is something that I'm still working on building. And
when you say reliable team, because you know, there are terms that people throw out, get a bag, you know, the team, you know, like money over everything, but people don't really give context to these terms. So what is a reliable team to you?
A reliable team, you know, like people who like definitely show up, you know, people who care, because, you know, you want people surrounded by you, want good vibes, of course, as always, and then you also want people who actually believe in what you're trying to do.
Yeah. When you say care, that's what
Yeah.
actually believing in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because some people can just be like, oh, I care because there should be a lot of people here, or a lot of people watching, or I care because I want opportunity, I care because I want
All
money.
for the wrong reason.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? They don't even really feel it. They just saying it because it just comes so natural to be a shell sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I can definitely see that concept. So, like, what are some things that inspired you to kind of get this thing rolling?
Well, like one all in all art, of course. The community, bringing people together from different walks of life. So like that was like a really big one for me. But also too, there's so many people trying to start like businesses. And then also too, there's a lot of artists. So I was like, okay, we can fuse something together, like make it interesting or whatever the case is. But yeah.
What were some things that it took to establish the foundation for rocket science that you didn't expect?
Oh, what's up? My bad.
You know, like, what were some things that it took to establish the foundation for rocket science? Like, you know, the paperwork, sometimes people don't know how to start an LLC or an organization, a nonprofit organization, and they just say that they have a business, or like they just take the steps without actually doing the legal business.
Right.
And me and you were talking about paperwork, so I was just like, that's something that I kind of get scared of when people mention paperwork. I'm like, shit,
It's a whole nother
just
process.
talk to me.
Yeah.
We don't got to do all that. We friends, ain't we? But like, when it comes to paperwork and stuff, how did you get aware of that? Like, how did you start being aware of the things that it takes to make this a real legal thing?
Right. Well, at first everything was kind of like really loose, and I was like, okay, like we're gonna hit like the movement wave and stuff like that. So it was kind of like, hey, show up, like shake a hand, you know, dap it up, whatever the case is, just like shoot the shit, I guess.
Exactly.
And then I was
I'm
like,
here
okay,
for free.
you know.
Yeah.
Organized.
Now you're good, balance. Like, yeah. So I'm trying to do more for the community. I was like, which means like funding, which means like this needs to be organized, and all of that. So I went to CIC, which was pretty dope. They basically just like have a program where it shows like the breakdown of everything, and actually teaches you like how to like structure your business, like from beginning to end. Which I walked in, I thought I had everything down packed, and I was like, oh wait.
And what is CIC?
Community Investment Collaborative.
Okay.
So they're pretty dope, and they do like 2 sessions. So it's like a fall and a spring session, I think, or whatever the case is. It's pretty cool though. So anybody who has like an idea, or you're trying to like build a business or whatever the case is, you can go there, check it out. You have to apply though, of course. But they definitely do a lot in the community, which is pretty cool.
So like, for people that don't know, like, how do people that like, I guess, work or run, you know, organizations like that, how do y'all fund yourself?
Well, at first I was like, okay, I didn't know if I want to do for-profit or non-profit, but then I was like, okay, I really want to do a lot in the community. So I was like, obviously, no, like a non-profit is the way to go. Which I was like, this is going to be really dope. This is cool. And I can do a lot more with it. I have a lot more wiggle room to actually be able to give back in the way that I would want to. Which is like I was saying, I wanted to do the mindful science program, which is going to be showing people how to like basically gain emotional intelligence. And basically they're going to be doing like you know, finding themselves, or like being able to ground yourself, being able to make sure you're mastering your emotions and stuff like that, achieving mental wellness. And basically having these sessions where it's like providing people with information, but also showing them like regimens that they can add into their daily routine. That's gonna be like, okay, boom, this is gonna help like ground me and live like all in all like kind of a different type of lifestyle.
And how old are you?
I'm 23.
How do you get to a place where this is, you're setting up things like this at 23? That's a very early age.
And do you have to have money to set these kind of things up?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like the money thing is like kind of like sometimes it's a stall out where I'm just gonna like, you know, work and
so
then
you're
just
doing
like
something free for the community, but you have to fund it yourself.
Yeah.
Not like everything, but to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you got to do the funding.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. So even though we say nonprofit, you guys say nonprofit, it's still being funded. You still have to fund it to get everything rolling.
Yeah. Sometimes you'll find people who are like, you know, when you have a really dope idea, and they catch the vibe of the wave, they're like, okay, yeah, this is awesome. Like, I would love to help you. And I found like a lot of people who've actually been like willing to help me along the way.
Yeah.
And then, you know, sometimes you'll run up against something, you'll hit a wall, and you're like, okay,
And when you say
go and chill.
when you say help, do you mean like do they donate stuff? Like do they like sponsor something? Like
Some people will donate, whether it's like donating their time, you know, because like sometimes you don't always have it like that. So whether you're donating time, whether like, you know, how the Facebook thing goes with the small businesses, whether you just like share, like, you know, subscribe, whatever the case may be,
It all
any of
goes
that helps.
hand in hand,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I feel like time and energy is more valuable than $1, so.
I agree.
Look, I don't know, things are getting a little better, so I'm like, okay, both.
She's like, I need $1 too.
I
Give me
need
that
money.
time and energy.
Yeah, we do need $1, but you know, if somebody willing to give that time and energy and they don't have it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I value that.
Agreed.
I believe, well, which do you see more? Do you see people willing to give their time more or their money more?
I've noticed that sometimes it just kind of depends. Like, you know, everybody's pockets aren't the same. So, you know, if you're donating your time, that's really awesome. If you're donating money, that's really dope too.
Yeah, they both help.
But the overall function is that it's a marketing, communications, and public relations company. So basically reeling in money that way, but then also being able to provide services to the community that are free.
Mm-hmm.
And then helping people build themselves up as well is like something that I've been heavily focused on.
Yeah, no, that's outstanding.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting. Like, to get yourself in that space to be able to, like, want to be able to organize all these things together is pretty dope. Like, a lot of people think about doing stuff, but they don't know the steps to take, you know what I'm saying? This is like a place right here. This is the one right here, you know what I'm saying, that has the steps to take. I wouldn't have formulated that, you know what I'm saying? You see where I'm at now, like,
Yeah.
I want to reach you so you can reach and do what you gotta do, but look right here. All the steps you need, you know what I'm saying? If you want to give back or do something for the community or the people, you know what I'm saying? Is it solely this area or?
Yeah, solely like, well, not exactly. I've been trying to like network, you know, people are always trying to like push their art or their company to different like cities, states, or whatever the case may be. So I've kind of been trying to like network with other people who have like a like-minded goal or vision.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah. They're expanding. Yeah.
Yeah. But on that note, we're going to cut to this break and we're going to swing right back to y'all.
Yes, sir.
This that savage shit.
And we back from the break. So I want to get into this with the guest, Yas. I was wondering, you know, where you from, man? Like, what was it like for you growing up?
So I'm from Charlottesville, so here, local, all that good stuff, dabbing in local all day long. But I went to Albemarle High School, graduated from there in 2015 and all of that. I went to Piedmont for a little bit, and then dropped out. So, you know, I was like, yeah, you know, I was working and stuff, like, and then I was like, okay, if I end up doing something that, you know, I genuinely want to do, and I end up falling into, like, you know, a career or a pathway that's really interesting to me, I was like, I'm probably going back. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is too much.
You just need a break from school. You was ready to be done with it after you tried it.
Yeah, so basically that was that. And then other than that, you know, ended up, I like had worked, like my mom had given me like my first like legit job, I guess, working in her office.
What type of job was it?
It was doing I was working at Parks and Departments as an administrative assistant. And I was like, yo, it's like this office stuff is like, yo, not me. I was like, I cannot be confined into
box.
like, you know, a building all day long. So that was that. And then after, like, I ended up working at Stars for a little bit. I served for a little bit. Like the restaurant way will definitely teach you how to interact with people.
Everybody goes into the kitchen, you know what I'm saying? For most guys, we either doing dishes or cooking. But most females, it's like up front serving a host, and like everybody make their pass through the kitchen.
Yeah. So I did all of that. And then also too, so then I ended up working at City of Charlottesville. As a youth counselor assistant, and then also too doing like politics, working on campaigns and stuff like that. So like, you know, all within the line of like community work, and all of that.
Yeah, how many? You said you 22, 23. How many jobs you had? I'm looking at myself like, ah, man, how many I had?
Shit, going through them.
I mean, good, diverse jobs, like quality jobs.
Working with kids, is that what got you wanting to work into the community?
Well, you know, like working with like, you know, technically considered to be like at-risk youth, or like an at-risk group, all in all, will definitely make you look at things differently. You start to see like the socioeconomic challenges and how people are like kind of put at like a disadvantage, and then you're trying to figure out ways that you can like bridge the gap, or kind of make it so that you're like, or at least like implement like programs, or you're like providing a service that can actually like bring about change in an effective way. So, you know, we already have plenty of people that do that, but it's always cool when you find like a new and innovative way that actually grabs people's attention, and like, you know, working alongside people, that's really dope too.
What classifies a person to be like at risk? Not in your own terms, but in general. You know?
So all in all, at risk typically means that like they're suffering from like a socioeconomic disadvantage. Whether that means like poverty, or like me, I kind of classify that with mental health issues as well, which I feel like falls like between the cracks a lot.
Exactly.
So then that's pretty much like the main thing.
Yeah.
Where like, you know, where you live at can like kind of like dictate like the things that you're surrounded by. It can kind of dictate like your path in life to a degree if you don't have enough people like pushing you up and helping you to succeed. So it's like a couple of different things, but definitely working with like Stars, I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. But it's also dope like hearing, you know, I really like hearing different people's like stories, their backgrounds and stuff like that.
Yeah, you too.
But then I was like, I want to do more. Like I'm kind of like here, and like
you just want to keep exploring as much as you can and expand that vision outward. Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Like, it's hard to find a path, like, through the way you did it, you know what I'm saying? As far as, like, a lot of people get stuck at that part right there, you know what I'm saying? As far as, like, I want to help my community, but I don't know how. You know what I'm saying? That's always the first thing you hear, you know what I'm saying? I want to help, but I don't know how. And now you have perfected a way, which, you know what I'm saying, is close to home, that the people that do feel that way, they can be like, yo, I got a place to where I can go support now, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to keep just feeling this way in the inside, like, and if you're not comfortable with that, it's still, like, other methods for that, too. I definitely believe in giving back to the community heavy, like, you know, whether it's, like, on the level that you doing it at, you know what I'm saying, or whether it's just giving knowledge, you know what I'm saying, that kind of help build them to get to that place, so they can reach you to get to that spot, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like, how has your spiritual journey been through this path for you?
Well, you know, I was serving. You know, serving is like really quick. But it was for me. I don't know how it is for other people. I was serving like, you know, waiting tables.
Serving. Yeah, I'm like, oh, what you serving? You know tables. Nobody thinking tables.
Oh my goodness.
Serving
I was waiting tables. Don't do that.
I was serving wait tables. Look, you hear the word she using there?
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Changed my life. That's where all them chains came from.
Oh my goodness. Look, no, I was waiting tables. Don't do that to me. But it was like, I was kind of like, yo, I'm just here, just chilling, just making money, and just like, it's really quick money. So like, I was like, yo, I'm kind of just like getting money, blowing money, like not really being productive at all.
How long did you do that?
I served for like 3 years.
How did you deal with the attitudes? Because that's why I'm scared to serve.
Yeah, I started off as a host, I'm not gonna lie. So then like I was like,
That's
okay.
still, you gotta talk to everybody that come in. You make it seem like that's better. Like, at least if you're a server, you could duck some people because they're like, all right, they ain't my section. Whew. You hosting, it don't matter what section you're in. You gotta come through. Fuck.
So like, what's the time like you almost quit or you did quit? Like from just people. I know you quit some attitude. You catch the most attitude as a server.
Yeah, serving will do it for you, but like, I don't know. You know, you have to wait on like so many different people. You know what I'm saying? So I think definitely you have to have that type of personality where you know how to like tuck it and be like, okay, I got you, and without like being biased, you know, or like discriminating amongst like who is sitting in your section, trying to like make sure that you're giving them the same type of service. Because I noticed that they'll change a lot too. Like, look, like, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna, like, you know, I'm like, alright, let me give you the same service. You never know what'll happen. And that also depends on, like, the amount of money you make too. Like,
you gotta try not to take it personal sometimes too.
Agreed.
Yeah, because before all of this happened, I was head chef at the Pigeonhole, so I was cooking and then I would help out up front with the servers and all that shit down there. So it was like, the crowd that come in over that way is like, the university crowd. Mm-hmm. So you know the type of energy
college
that brings.
Shirts, Sperry's, shorts above the knees, attitude. Like generally, we're not ever generally.
Yeah,
you know.
That's crazy. So. You say you was your spiritual path is through.
Oh wow, yeah. Look, so yeah, like we don't clear it off, bring it back. I forgot what it was. I'm not gonna lie. Let me see. So basically, like, yeah, that was kind of like I was like, yeah, I'm just here, I'm just chilling, and then I was like, yo, I like actually like hate this. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, cause I'm really like literally just here. I'm not contributing in any way. I'm not helping, you know, I'm not like actually making my mark, you know what I mean? I was like, you know, serving, you do a lot anyways because like, you know, you might sit at somebody's table who might totally flip your day around. You never know, you know what I mean? But then I was like, you know, I mean, I'm just like, you know, go to work and then like give people my energy and then just like, I'm just gonna go drink, turn up, whatever. So I was like, yo, it has to be something more, you know what I mean? And sometimes that clicks for you and it's like, okay, let me switch it up a little bit. Let me do something different. Let me give back in a different type of way. You start to find your calling and you're like, okay, cool. So I kind of did that. And then I was like, all right, so, you know, then I got, like, all into, like, you know, the vibes and spirituality and stuff.
That's how I make you feel.
How did you get into it? What was something that led you that way?
Well, all in all, you know, I try to be, like, a pretty, like, upbeat, like, optimistic person, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know, vibes is already there, but I'm like, okay, let me dabble into it a little bit more. My dad had passed away, and that kind of had started to make me see things a little differently. I think when you lose somebody really important in your life, you're like, okay, you know, you kind of think you're like in this like hole and you're like depressed and all of that. And you kind of don't know like, you know, what to lean on. You can either lean on something very positive, you find like a really good outlet. Typically it'll steer you towards like spirituality or religion or something like that. Or you'll find like a person, a pastime or something like that, or you know, it could be very negative, you know. Either way, it has a way of like, you know, working different for different people. So that was like kind of like something for me, you know. So I have my little regimen, my stuff that I do that like uplifts me, keeps me grounded and stuff like that. And then, you know, I throw like a little bit of meditation in there and all of that. Make sure the vibes are good. Making sure you're grounded too as a leader. You know, trying to bring about change and trying to lead people, you have to make sure that you're on point, because you can't be off-center trying to tell people how to be and live and, you know, not necessarily live, but how to, like, you know, walk through life. You can't give people that type of advice or, you know, do something really powerful if you're not even centered or grounded yourself. So it's like, make sure that you're good at all times, and you can do that by, like, implementing different things and your daily regimen, and like, you know, because your walk of life is just as important as like getting other people to like, you know, not follow suit, make sure that you're like being like that mentor or that person that they can look to, especially working with like at-risk youth. I'm like,
yeah,
I gotta make sure I'm good. Like, I can't be like, okay, my life is a shit show, and I'm trying to tell them, be like, hey, here, I'm trying to give you this token. It's like, why are you talking to me?
So like, your father passing, was that like the biggest trigger to your like mindfulness being this deep and your spiritual awareness being this deep?
Definitely. I was already kind of like, you know, I like kind of around the same time that I hopped on radio. I think it was just like kind of like, okay, I want to like, you know, DJ Almighty, he was like, you know, just like, you know, talk to him. And I was like, okay. So I, you know, caught my flow, and I'm like, okay, I like making other people feel good. So like, you know, when you turn it on, I want like people to be uplifted. I want them to like also, you know, catch the vibe, and like I want them to, you know, hear some current events, but I want to make sure that you feel like positive, you feel good, and it's like, this is dope.
Exactly.
And so I was already kind of like working on like that journey for myself. Linked up with Shaquan, Haku Russell, Facebook, all that.
Shout out, bro. He dope. That motherfucker sharp, bro. He got some knowledge.
Let's get it.
Yeah,
but yeah, so then, you know, we kind of like, I don't know, usually like similar. So like, you know, that's usually like kind of like, I'd be like, yo, I need to set myself right. I need like go ahead and get a reading or whatever the case is.
Exactly.
Love that guy, by the way. But yeah, so then pretty much like, you know, just like taking that type of journey, but then, you know, like, you know, losing somebody really important in your life will make you totally put things into a different perspective. Yes. So then I started to feel a little different. I'm like, okay, I was like, I could totally like just like drown in my sorrows and be like depressing, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But then also like around that time I had gotten a job at the city of Charlottesville working as a youth counselor. So I'm like, okay, I kind of like leaned on like, you know, work and like uplifting other people to like bring me back. I don't know, I'm weird.
No, I agree. That's something, I do the same thing. I love making people feel, it makes me feel good to make good people feel good, not just anybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think helping is very helpful in all walks, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's, you know, I guess for me, like, when I get in that space, it's kind of like, I want to fix myself, or not really fix myself, but I want to dig myself in a better space before, you know, I start pulling on other people, you know what I'm saying, or giving them energy that's not really fully there, you know what I'm saying. It's almost like me trying to force something out, you know what I'm saying. I know sometimes it is okay to fight and force through things, you know what I'm saying.
Right.
But, just about as far as me in that spot right there, you know what I'm saying. So
it's times where I feel like I give too much, and I don't want to give for a long ass time because I feel like I didn't
protect your energy
receive.
too, you know.
Yeah, that's something that you learn. But yeah, I had to get to that spot. Yeah.
And that's what we was talking about time earlier. We just become more mindful. That's what we were saying. Like, I kind of become more valuable. Then you need the money, but then it's like, I don't really want to put that on my spirit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to keep yourself balanced in order to give anybody anything in the first place. But like, how did you get into radio, yo? Like, I heard you on the radio. You're like, yo, this listen to the horoscope, yo. That joke is dope though. It makes you feel good. It puts you at ease. It's like an even tone. It's like soothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, but like, how did you get into radio?
Let's see. So yeah, some of my stuff is like completely random, but like, you know, because I'm like, I still have to have fun. But I was working at the XR Park. I did like bartending for a little bit down there, and then there was an event, and I ran into DJ Almighty, Jake Vaughn, whatever, and he, like, I had wanted to put one of my ads for an event that I was having on there, and so he was like, yo, you know, like, went and recorded. He was like, oh, you're dope, like, you know, like, I'm gonna throw you on there and stuff. And I was like, alright. Yeah, that's dope.
Have you ever done anything like that before that? Like been on the radio, hosted?
Yo, like, no.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, this is cool, whatever. I'm like, let me try to make sure I don't sound like constipated or something.
That's part of why I think it's so dope when I hear you on there and it's so smooth and it's so like natural, because I was like, yo, this is like her first time doing this, man.
Right.
And then you don't have to worry about your appearance either, though.
You can just come in with your hoodie on.
Now you just gotta make sure your vocals is together when you go in there. Do you feel like that's more comfortable than doing something like podcasting or something similar to this?
I think the difference between like say like the radio and then like a podcast is like a podcast is longer, you know what I mean? So it's like finding things to talk about, making sure that you're keeping people reeled in and entertained is a little different from like, okay, let me do this like, 30 seconds to a minute like little drop on the radio, like, and then it's like, okay, so it's like, I got this burst of energy, boom, and music, we good.
Hold on, so is any of it live? Do you do any of it live?
Well, like, like when I give out like the, say like if it's like tickets or something like that, you're there, you're answering the phone and stuff like that. So trying to keep it like as authentic as possible is really important. But look, I got a job, like, but keeping it as authentic as possible is definitely important. And making sure that, giving the good vibes. I typically I'm sick. If I can't get it there, I don't want to like be fake about it. You know what I'm saying? Or talk about something that I can't genuinely like feel. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, like I'm sick.
Do you get?
What are certain things that you talk about on your show?
I'll talk about like current events. So far as like just things going on, topics of public interest, trying to like drop it in there really quickly, but in a way where it's like it's in between music, so you might have caught it. You know what I mean? You're already enthralled, you're intrigued, so you might have caught it. Drop it in there. Then keeping up with the celeb drama, all that good stuff. Throwing that in there, and then I try to do like facts about music. So whatever, all that.
So what kind of music do you listen to?
Yeah, my playlist is like completely random. Like I got the car playlist where it's like, let me just go ahead and throw the shuffle on. And then I got like, I don't know, everywhere from like local on there to like, hip hop, rap, like R&B, neo soul, like a little bit of country. It depends.
Okay, so you do some support to the local artists as well.
Yeah, I definitely do. Like some days it'll seem like it'll be like nothing but like local pop up back to back. I'm like, hold on.
Is it on shuffle? I was trying to dance too.
That's nice. That's nice. But on that music note, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna cut to this break and we're gonna get back to y'all.
This that savage shit.
So we back from the break. Now our next subject we about to get into, you know what I'm saying, we're about to ask Miss Yas how she feel about this technology era and where everything is going to. How you feel about the 5G, 4G spread?
Oh, geez. Okay. All right. Well, technology. Okay. So I seen this article. As like, technology advances and stuff like that. And we're like, grooming children, to become accustomed to the new way. That apparently it's a fear that like toy stores are gonna go out of business or whatever the case is. Which like I think that we should still keep like the toys and stuff and have kids be kids, but technology is definitely a thing too.
Yeah, they did yank Toys R Us up out of here. They yanked it. Now you gotta go to where? Walmart, Target, and Big Lots. What else for toys now?
I mean, they got little side stores like Shenanigans, and, stuff like that.
Shenanigans ain't got shit in there but some shenanigans.
It's a shenanigan. That's why I named
that
that.
shit ain't even no
different demographic.
No real toy store. Like, so how do you feel about as far as having to use the new technology? As far as like, I guess I shouldn't really say new because all the phones and everything is like they here. They like our little buddies now.
Right, like
iRobot. This is my robot.
Goodness gracious, let me see. So like, I think especially with like, one like the pandemic and all of that, we're leaning on like technology a lot more. where like new findings are being made, technology is advancing and all of that stuff. But also too, like, technology is like a really major part of this generation, the new wave and all of that. And then also too, like, you beats. Yeah. Right? I mean, you like need technology. So you like, I can't think we should.
I beat make. I am not a musician. You know what I'm saying? I just, much respect to the musicians. I love collaborating with musicians, you know what I'm saying? Just to throw that out there. Because it's a big difference. I do need that technology. Shut that shit down.
Right. You are going to shut up. Because
I don't need I don't need the internet for that. But I definitely need
Do you really care for technology?
I mean, okay, so look, I really love technology and all of that, but with like marketing, branding, and then like all of that, you can kind of like you can use other techniques and stuff like that. So I think like an even balance of making sure you're still like interacting with people, that face to face, like human interaction is important, but then also too, it's like, okay, social media, we need that.
That's what I felt like. The gist of what you were saying is you like to touch the people. Like, you like to come in contact with the people and physically get out there and do things.
Absolutely. So, like, even with, like, I've been meeting with a couple people, like, even with the pandemic, making sure, like, all right, social distancing and all that is important. Yeah. But I'm like, okay, I need to meet you, like, in person. I don't care if you think it's annoying because, like, a phone conversation, text message, like, names can get so misconstrued via text, You
miss the emotional feeling part, the human part. You know what I'm saying? What makes you human is to be able to feel, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I be trying to tell people. I used to not be a person who did emojis. But now I got a habit of trying to be more mindful using them, but not to be a smart ass, you know what I'm saying? To try to be as expressive as I can in this text message.
It's funny that you say that, because I send him emojis all the time. I know he ain't like that. I'm just sending him, he probably be over there like, oh, you just send me words. Grown men. Talk to me.
Yo, we did have the meme battle. Yeah, we definitely had the meme battle. Technology is great. It's great. Like, I could live without it. I feel like it's important for all of us to know how to live without it. But use it the right way and have fun with it, but don't overindulge in the fun, you know what I'm saying? Because it can really keep you in a sunken place. So it's like people say, oh, fuck technology. Yeah, we could say that, but we need it.
I like
you know what I'm saying, as far as where we at right now until it's removed. And
I like technology in the sense that everybody isn't transparent. Like, people put things on the surface. Like, you can look at someone's profile and you can see their personality. You don't even have to ask them anything. You be like, oh, I see what you like. I see what you like to do. I see what you do. Like, you can portray whatever you want. So I like that about it. But if electricity was cut off from everybody tomorrow, we'd be in a tough spot. Like, I don't know what do y'all think we would do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people wouldn't know what to
do. The right people will know how to handle it. Everybody else would panic.
Who do you think the right people?
See, I be managing and
who the right people are?
It was a lot of the generation that's the 30 and up that grew up without the technology. You know what I'm saying?
Our era, we would know how to handle that shit because we didn't have technology back then like that.
Yeah. Not as heavy. It was
we had it, but not as big.
Minute phones.
It was just really fucking TV and your video game.
And you had a house phone.
And the house phone.
And that's it. But then as we got older, but this younger generation, man, they'll lose their minds, bro.
Hell yeah.
They will lose their minds.
But you got some.
Well, what do you think? You're 22, so.
Well, 23, but you know, like, I mean, technology is really important, but like making sure that you're taking that time to like unwind and like regather your mental space, and then like just like kind of like step away, so it's not all consuming. But leaning on technology definitely to do like incredible things. Technology is up one, you know what I mean? Just knowing when to step back is important too, and making sure it doesn't like completely take over the like world, you know. But this 5G argument is kind of like, they're implementing 5G and stuff like that. And it's kind of like a thing of, okay, all right, so we have this artificial intelligence, right? It's like, are we gonna like use it I looked up and I was like, okay, this could be like a health, like this could like contribute or benefit people's health, or it could be detrimental, you know what I mean? So it's like this is interesting. And there's like a couple sciences where I look up weird stuff. I don't know. I just
we
be at
supposed
home
to
on
dig
Google,
and question.
you know.
That's a good perspective, yeah.
But that's the beauty in YouTube and internet and Google and everything as well, you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I grew up without technology this heavy, so I know how to live without it, you know what I'm saying? But it's also like when I came along to this shit, it's like I indulged in it, you know what I'm saying? In all the wrong aspects until I, you know what I'm saying, reprogram my shit, you know what I'm saying? And then it was like, damn, okay, now I know how to utilize this shit the right way, you know what I'm saying? Now they make it harder for you if you trying to find shit, you know what I'm saying? Make it easy for entertainment and hard for the other shit.
Yep.
Right.
But yeah, they got the 5G sitting everywhere. I feel like the shit that they be doing with this radiation shit, man, like, they gonna be able to turn on the switch and like just be able to zap everything, you know what I'm saying? They label a lot of high shit at microwave radiation, but that shit really be higher than microwave radiation, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And it's like, you know, a big debate is whether it's going to be like a risk factor for people in general, or if it's going to be something that, like, you know, can contribute to individuals all in all. So it's like, okay, as we're leaning more on technology, we want, you know, technology to move a little quicker, okay, like 5G. And then it's like, okay, so far I was making a comparison and I was like, okay, is this similar to, like, you know, chemo radiation? You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Or is this just like, you know, like pointless radiation that your body doesn't need to take on? So I'm like, okay, if our body is taking on more of like a radiation exposure, we should obviously be healthier.
Yeah.
So like people, like, I'm like, okay, so would we be tailoring our diets and our lifestyles to being exposed to this type of radiation, or would we be good to go? And I think this is a debate that a lot of people are making. It seems like people are kind of like at a standstill about it. And then also too, it's like always being able to like do like surveillance and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, all of that. It's a couple of different things going on. It's always a couple of different things going on.
As we're talking about this, like, I'm someone who, like, I like to hear everyone's perspective. I have my perspective, and then I draw, like, a conclusion from all the information I get. Do you guys correlate any of what we're talking about with the current condition of the world right now? The 5G and how chaotic the world seems to be and how unpredictable and random it seems to be.
I personally think the 4G had an effect as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of this shit, dude, we pumping shit out way faster. But we have to understand that it's two worlds, you know what I'm saying, that we living in.
And what did they do you?
You have the physical and the
metaphysical.
Exactly. So it's like, just because we can't see the radiation don't mean that shit ain't hurting us or fucking us up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
And I done seen clips where they put the 5G towers up and they had like bees fly, like it was just bees flying around, and they were so close that as soon as the radiation hit them, they just dropped like that.
But the 5G towers, they look just like the 4G towers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just, I think
stronger.
It's just, yeah, and I think it's just all depends on how many they actually start putting down. Like, they putting a few down and they affecting us, and they trying to hide them between trees and shit, you know what I'm saying? And that shit definitely don't look like no tree. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's supposed to be helpful for us, why are you hiding it? That don't even make sense. Like, oh, because it don't look good. Bitch, you think all these wires of electricity look good going up the road? No, motherfucker. Just got used to seeing this shit.
And
that's all the fucking it is.
They put them in certain areas. They said it was 1.29 for real.
I was down in Florida, man. They had them shits on top of like buildings, like apartments,
Sheesh.
all that shit. Like they putting them shits everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So
y'all blow my mind. I can barely blink over here. I'm over here like.
Hold on, this conversation got me a little wired.
Yeah, that shit crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, them shits has been going crazy. But outside of the 5G aspect, like, technology for you in the future, do you see it being more beneficial or detrimental?
I think as long as we like continue to progress with it, And you know, like as we evolve and like, you know, science evolves and like what we can do with technology all, we're supposed to advance. That's the point. But making sure that like it's not too quick, you know, making sure that we're easing things in there and all of that is very important. So yeah, I don't know. I'm a little like, you know, even balance between like unplugging but using technology obviously to, you know, kind of like like communicate with people in a very quick manner. You know, like with the beats and stuff like that, being able to market and on a really like broad spectrum very quickly. Technology is really important and we kind of need it. But I think being able to live without it is kind of like a good thing for people to understand as well. Being able to be like, okay, we love it, but we need a break from it too, you know?
Yeah, I became fairly attached to it. Unless I don't have to be on my phone. Like, if I have a choice, I'm probably going to be on it. I might just be looking at the screen looking for something to do. I might not even have nothing to do. I'm like,
what's crazy for you is your phone, but it's my computer for me. It's not my phone. I got a different robot that got me. I got my little robot that go with me everywhere. But then I got the other robot that I just stare at. I covered the camera up so that motherfucker can't watch me. That motherfucker can hear me.
Like he stay on me. Yeah.
That's crazy because when we was young, remember we used to see the shit. What was it like? The robots used to be fighting. Like some weird TV show they used to have
a battle robots.
Yeah, they showed us robots in a weird form.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't show us these robots that
Facts.
we have, you know what I'm saying? Like these are the real robots.
The ones that can't say trapped us, but trapped others.
Yeah.
Shit, they got a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? So now I be telling my little mini, you know what I'm saying? You know, these little robots right here, you know what I'm saying? I know they give them to us different in movies and TV shows and shit, but to me, that's what I feel like a robot is, you know what I'm saying? I pick up my phone, that bitch is trying to tell me what I was thinking. Like, I ain't asked for all of that. That's just what I was thinking. I wasn't even going there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
when I turn on Pandora, I test it at times, and then I be sitting there with my girl, I'll be like, look. Little white Oxycontin about to play. I'll be like, see, I told you. I just was feeling it. I was feeling it, baby.
Bro, I done had times just thinking about a song. They ain't even say it, just thinking about it. As soon as I go to play it, that bitch right there. Like, why? Or how did you even know?
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder how myself, I wonder, am I tripping?
Yeah, nah. You might be tripping.
Not at all.
Hell nah.
Because how did you know what I really wanted to listen to?
Run it back?
Like, do you ever just think about a song on your phone and you just turn on your app and it plays, or you probably think about somebody or
mine is advertisements through social media. I might be thinking
it pop up on social media, yeah.
Advertisement.
Like, you don't even gotta say nothing about it. It just pops up.
The social media thing definitely happens to me. Scrolling through and you're like, okay, the ads and stuff like that. And then also too, let's see what else. Usually like I'll be at home and then, you know, I'll be like in a mindset or like, you know, something will be happening and like a certain song will play and I'm like,
Drake start playing, you start crying.
Okay.
Don't you hate when they try and distract you on purpose? It's almost like that damn show, Social Experiment. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
That was on Netflix?
Yeah.
Where it's like they fucking just bidding on people and doing shit to you, know what I'm saying, through your technology. Like,
Oh, I've never seen that.
you gotta watch that shit. If it's still up there, watch that shit. That shit is a really good example of how they utilize their technology. But they also try to force some other points in that documentary at the same time, and I'm just like, I'm too in tune now, so you can't trick me with all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'll listen, you know what I'm saying, but I know what shit to just let keep flowing. I ain't gonna just sit on it and let it marinate, you know what I'm saying? So like, what is like some new ventures that you got lined up as far as like helping the people and like venturing yours out a little bit bigger and broader?
Let's see. So like definitely working more to like I guess develop and be able to like implement, provide to the city or like wherever the case may be, the program Mindful Science, which is helping people, you know, gain emotional intelligence, and then also to make sure that, you know, you're grounded, giving people regimens that they can you know, put into their daily routine, stuff like that. everywhere from like, you know, nutrition, and this is how this impacts your overall like mental health, but also your physical health as well. And then, you know, like meditation, yoga. I want there to be like a, you know, an instructor that's kind of like running it down and giving you like the basics, but then also too.
So what do you actually do for meditation? Because you mentioned it earlier, and I was meaning to ask you, because everybody got different methods for meditation. So like, what is your actual routine?
So like, I don't know, typically like I'll do it like a couple times a week or whatever the case is, you know, and like kind of get in my zone, do the little thing, whatever the case is. And I think it's cool because also too, you never know how hard it is to like completely sit still and like focus on like you, like your existence, your being, and also to focus on like, you know, your breathing and stuff like that, and to block out everything.
You sit?
You know, like a typical, like, go ahead and hit the Buddha, like, you know, legs crossed, all that.
Yeah, it gets sometimes I do that myself. It just depends on how I feel at the moment.
Is it a comfortable position?
Typically, like, yeah, so, you know, like, making sure that you're, like, focusing on, like, your posture. Also, too, it's supposed to help with, like, you know, dietary, like, and everything like that. Making sure that you're grounded, everything from your crown to your root. So it's a couple different things. Like, I looked it up just like, you know, to make sure that everything is like precise and stuff like that. But I think it's really important to take that time to be like with yourself, by yourself, and like really like going ahead and make sure you're blocking everything out. We're living in like a chaotic world, even though it's a little slowed down. There's other stuff going on. So making sure at the very least, if you can't like control what's going on, you can make sure that you're grounded all in all.
Exactly.
Definitely agree, you know what I'm saying? So, on that note, we getting ready to wind this thing on down, you know what I'm saying? You want to let the people know where they can find you at, what you got going on, which we already discussed, you know what I'm saying? So just let them know.
Let's see, we got the Rocket Science Integrated on deck. Also, too, you can find me on Instagram, yin-yang-yas _ I'm on Facebook at Yas Washington. Go ahead and hit me up. I'm good to go.
Hey, yeah, y'all know what time it is, man. Y'all make sure y'all support, man. We got Be Great over here, man. We got Foreign Music Empire over there, man. We showing love and supporting all day, man. It's what we do. Over here is we support and we show love, you know what I'm saying? It's the TrakWolf Godcast. We got Cheno Bliss over here. We got Yas Savage in the building. I'm TrakBeatz. We signing out.
Got my life as I walk through the night. Lord forgive them for they know not what they do. And while you at it, may as well forgive me too. See, her eyes can turn you to stone with poison on her lips. Dagger behind the back, try to tell you life's a bitch. I'm the last to sleep, the first to rise. I'm the last to complain and the first to try. I broke down a few times and dried my eyes. I never asked for a hand of giving, that's fine. And plus I fight for my loves at drop of a dime. And plus I nosedive, it's okay cause I'm fly. I told my mom I'll be stronger while I handle my plight. Knowing the prayers guard my life as I walk through the night. Mothers praying for their sons as they walk through the night. My brothers praying with their guns while they walk through the night. Our fathers praying for daughters as they walk through the night. Since for their lives they waging barter as they walk through the night. We never seem to factor risk as we walk through the night. May wonder why do I exist as we walk through the night. And ponder how we really here as we walk through the night. Before I die I'll make it clear, turn the darkness to light. We count $100 bills while we walk through the night. We smoking nails and keep it real while we walk through the night. We proving that we in the field while we walk through the night. We swallow bottles, popping pills while we walk through the night. Meanwhile our parents on their knees while we walk through the night. Our siblings crying on their sheets while we walk through the night. Could be our families missing peace while we walk through the night. And they can be just what we need while we walk through the night. Some guys feel they move managed while they walk through the night. Some ladies take their room for granted while they walk through the night. The lost feel misunderstood while they walk through the night. The conscious seem alone and took while they walk through the night. Mothers praying for their sons as they walk through the night. My brothers praying with their guns while they walk through the night. Our fathers praying for daughters as they walk through the night. Since for their lives they waging barter as they walk through the night. We never seem to factor risk as we walk through the night. May wonder why do I exist as we walk through the night. And ponder how we really here as we walk through the night. Before I die I'll make it clear, turn the dark
TrakBeatz.